Hi there, I'm Eric Siegel with ericstrains.com, and this is volume 4 of Eric's Trains Express. I wanted to take a couple minutes just to show you something that I'm working on right now. I've been doing some work on this creek in the main room. The creek's been here for quite a while, but I'm just now starting to work on putting water into the creek. But before I could do the water on this side, I needed to modify the creek to make room for a road up here. And when I say road, I mean a street for automobiles, not a railroad. What's going on here is that in between these two support towers for the bridge, there's going to be a road that goes back to the engine service facility. And when I first built the layout and I first built the creek, I didn't know exactly where the bridge supports would be. And as it turns out, there's not enough room for the road to come through here and then bend around and get back to the diesel service facility. And so I had to bring the creek in to make room for the road. And so instead of just bringing the creek in and making it look like a regular creek, I figured I would do something that they might do in the real world, which is modify the creek with some retaining walls to make way for the road. And so that's what I've done. And I built this retaining wall with strips of basswood. It's nothing fancy. But then I had this big gap here that needed to be filled. And so I decided to do another real world thing, which is to use fill material. When construction companies want to fill a big hole, a lot of times they don't just use dirt. A lot of times they'll cut corners and use all sorts of garbage and trash. And in fact, that's why a lot of times when you buy a house, your driveway ends up sinking and ends up needing to be replaced after a number of years, because they don't just fill the area under the driveway with dirt. They'll put paint cans and wood and all sorts of stuff down there. And then over the years, as it decomposes, it starts to sink and your driveway starts to sink and you have to have someone come out and fix the driveway. So that's what I've done here. I needed to fill all this space, and so I just put a bunch of garbage down here. There's a bunch of scrap wood, there's some scrap plastic, there's some styrofoam, there's some ground cover that I was not planning on using, and then there's some gravel and talus. I put some talus down here at the base, of course. And then now that I'm getting toward the top, I've put some nice ballast in there. And then as soon as this dries, I'll finish the rest of it and bring it up to the layer of the road so that I can put the road in. So it's kind of fun when you can sort of do like they do in the real world and use fill material to fill in a hole on the layout. And that's what I've done. Now, in my case, the fill material is not going to cause anything to sink like it would on a driveway, because there's not going to be any real weight on it, and this bridge support goes all the way through the table and down to the plywood, so it's not like this is sitting on the fill material or anything. I just did it for fun. It was a fun way to fill this gap while getting rid of some garbage and scrap stuff that I have sitting around the layout. So that's all I wanted to show you. This is still a work in progress, and of course, once it's done, I'll be happy to show it to you, and you'll be able to see it in its complete state. But that's it for now. I'm Eric Siegel, and I'll see you next time.